Welcome back. In the wake of petrol and electricity price hikes, we discuss how consumers can stretch their rands. Annaline van Der Poel, Head of Operations at Debt Recue, joins us now. Annaline, thank you for your time. Well, it seems there isn't very good news on the horizon, depending, on what NERSA has to tell us next week. And of course, we know petrol going up again. South Africans who actually don't have any more to spread out, what do we do?
You know what, Iveka, what we're seeing at Debt Recue is that people are already living on the knife's edge.
Yeah.
Their budgets have been cut to the bone in most cases. So I think the most important thing is that the people need to set up budgets for those who aren't already there, start looking at what their expenses are on a monthly basis, and doing a proper analysis and knowing where they can cut. And then obviously, most importantly, not incurring any further debt if they can't afford to do so.
All right, well, for those of us who are not financially savvy, tell us, what are we looking at? We're drawing up these lists of things that can be cut, and what should we prioritize? What are some of the things? Where can we cut back?
I think the most important thing when you are doing a budget is you're doing a financial analysis of your life. So you need to look at the basics. You look at your incomes, your deductions, the ones that you've got no control over, and then obviously what you have left. What do you require as a minimum to live every month? So going over your bank statements, looking for those items that you can reduce a month, the unnecessary expenses. And once you've cut that, looking at what you truly need to live. And then obviously looking at your total debt exposure and making sure that you can actually afford what you have and not getting into further debt if you really cannot any further.
Well, just looking at things that, like you say, people are already living sort of below what they're used to. Do we cut out all luxuries? Is that where you start? A lot of people, saying, we work so hard, surely we should be able to enjoy something.
It depends on the necessity and obviously the degree of the expense. If it's something small, obviously you don't want to just take it out of your budget completely. But yes, if you have no choice, then obviously cut. The problem comes in with the people who've already cut and there is no more, no way left for them to cut. Making sure that they know that there's help available to them. At Debt Recue, we've noticed that there is a constant increase, and it's not just us, it's the whole industry, of people who are over-indebted. 48% of credit-active consumers in the country are what they technically refer to as over-indebted, meaning that at least one of their accounts is 3 months or more in arrears, which is, it's a scary statistic, a very scary statistic.
Give us some idea of where we can make some arrangements. What are some of the arrangements we can make with our banks, maybe with regards to home loans, maybe with regards to accounts that we're owing on, before we get to the debt situation, preventative?
I think the most important thing is don't skip any payments, ever. Where you possibly can, if you see that you are not going to be able to make the minimum requirement, contact your credit providers. Play open cards with them that they know where you stand. The ostrich syndrome of sticking your head in the sand and hoping it goes away is not going to happen. And if anything, it just raises more flags. Where I think if you are more open and you approach them and you say, listen, this month I am going to have a wobble. I need to make an arrangement. They might be more forthcoming in that manner. Practically,
sort of day-to-day lifestyle changes. What kind of changes there would help?
I think what we usually say to people is that lifestyle analysis, and a very good place to start is looking at your bank statement. Look at where you spend every month. So in other words, how many times are you withdrawing cash? Are you getting the best bank rates, for example? Do you have that cell phone account that you took out 3 years ago because you wanted the handset and you're no longer using it? Make sure you cancel it, get rid of it. And if you're not going to the gym, cancel it. Look at these small little things, because before you know it, they've all added up and they're completely unnecessary.
Yeah. In terms of looking at policies that you might have, looking at where you are saving already, some people might be tempted to say, okay, let me cut back on that RA that I'm putting away for, or let me cut back on this. Would that be wise? That's not a good thing to do.
No, I don't think it is. I think rather than just cutting, rather contact your financial advisor and say to them, listen, this is the situation I'm going through. Can I rather reduce? Reductions obviously will have an impact on your budget and give you that breathing room you need. But just cutting, especially when it comes to insurances on your assets, the requirements in terms of your credit agreements, for example, a vehicle, don't just let it go. Make sure that you rather shop around, try and get the best deal that you can.
And if you're in the fortunate position of having a little bit extra, put it somewhere where you
By all means. Our country has got
see the benefit.
Very, very poor savings culture. So if people can train themselves, but make it a concerted effort that you put something away every month.
All right, thank you very much. Do it where you can. Thank you very much. Annaline van Der Poel, she's Head of Operations at Debt Recue. Well, you may think